In the vast architecture of our solar system, where planets trace quiet and predictable paths around a stable and life-giving star, there exists a giant so immense that it begins to blur the boundary between categories we often treat as absolute. This world is Jupiter, a colossal sphere of gas, storms, and immense gravity whose mass exceeds that of all the other planets combined. It dominates its surroundings not through light, like a star, but through presence. And yet, despite its grandeur, Jupiter is often described by a strangely diminutive phrase, a failed star. To understand why this label exists is necessary to move beyond the familiar image of Jupiter as simply the largest planet, and instead explore the deeper physical processes that distinguish stars from planets. A true star, such as our Sun, is not defined merely by its size or brightness, but by what occurs in its core. At the heart of a star, gravity compresses matter to such extremes that temperature and pressure reach extraordinary levels, millions of degrees, allowing nuclear fusion to begin. In this process, hydrogen atoms are forced together to form helium, releasing vast amounts of energy. This energy radiates outward, producing the light and heat that define a star's existence over billions of years. Jupiter, at first glance, appears to share the essential ingredients required for this transformation. It is composed primarily of hydrogen and helium, the same elements that fuel stars, and its mass is enormous compared to any other planet in the solar system. Deep within its interior, pressure rises to millions of times that of Earth's atmosphere, and temperatures climb to tens of thousands of degrees. These conditions, while extreme, begin to hint at the threshold where planetary physics transitions into stellar physics. This resemblance is what gives rise to the idea that Jupiter exists in a kind of liminal state, a world that formed from the same primordial material as the Sun, and yet did not follow the same path. It is, in a sense, a cosmic near-miss, a body that accumulated vast amounts of matter but stopped short of crossing the boundary into stardom. However, the gap between almost and enough in astrophysics is not small, it is immense. For nuclear fusion to ignite in a sustained and self-supporting way, an object must reach a critical mass of roughly 75 to 80 times that of Jupiter. Only then can gravitational pressure raise the core temperature to the millions of degrees required for hydrogen fusion. Jupiter, despite its size, contains only about 1,000th the mass of the Sun. This means it is not just slightly below the threshold, it is dramatically below it. Between objects like Jupiter and true stars lies an intermediate class known as brown dwarfs. These objects occupy a fascinating middle ground, too large to be considered planets, yet too small to sustain full hydrogen fusion like stars. An example is Tide 1, one of the first confirmed brown dwarfs. Such objects can briefly fuse deuterium or lithium, producing limited energy for a relatively short period of time. Because they cannot sustain long-term fusion, they are sometimes referred to as failed stars. Even in this category, however, Jupiter does not qualify, is far less massive than the smallest brown dwarfs. The phrase failed star, when applied to Jupiter, is therefore more poetic than scientific. It reflects a comparison based on composition and potential rather than on actual physical processes. Jupiter never came close to igniting fusion, nor was it on a trajectory to do so. The conditions required are so extreme that the difference between Jupiter and even the smallest star is not a narrow gap, but a vast divide. Despite this, Jupiter is far from inactive or inert. In fact, it radiates more energy than it receives from the Sun, a phenomenon that reveals something important about its internal dynamics. This excess heat is the result of slow gravitational contraction, a process known as the Kelvin-Helmholtz mechanism, combined with residual heat left over from its formation. As Jupiter very gradually shrinks, gravitational energy is converted into thermal energy, causing it to emit a faint but measurable glow. A journey into Jupiter would not lead to a solid surface, but into an ever-deepening atmosphere that becomes denser and more extreme with depth. The familiar cloud tops, striped with bands of white, orange, and brown, are only the outermost layer of a vast and complex system. Below them lies a region of thickening gas that transitions into liquid-like states under increasing pressure. Eventually, hydrogen is compressed into an exotic form known as metallic hydrogen, where it behaves not as a gas, but as an rickily conductive fluid. This layer of metallic hydrogen is believed to play a crucial role in generating Jupiter's immense magnetic field, which is the strongest of any planet in the solar system. This magnetic field extends millions of kilometers into space, trapping charged particles and creating intense radiation belts that would pose a severe hazard to any spacecraft or traveler venturing too close. Above these depths, Jupiter's atmosphere is a place of constant motion and turbulence. Jet streams race around the planet at incredible speeds, separating bands of clouds that move in opposite directions. Towering storms erupt and dissipate, driven by internal heat and rapid rotation. Among these storms is the famous Great Red Spot, a vishal and long-lived vortex that has persisted for centuries, large enough to engulf Earth itself. The idea that Jupiter might have become a star also invites a deeper reflection on how the solar system formed. During its early stages, a vast disk of gas and dust surrounded the young sun. Within this disk, regions of higher density began to collapse under gravity, forming planets. Jupiter likely began as a solid core that rapidly accumulated gas, growing larger and larger until it became the dominant planet. Yet even at its peak growth, it never approached the mass required for fusion. The available material in its region of the disk simply was not sufficient to build a second star. Interestingly, if Jupiter had been much more massive, approaching the threshold of a brown dwarf, it could have significantly altered the structure of the solar system. Its increased gravity might have disrupted the formation of other planets or changed their orbits dramatically. In this sense, Jupiter's failure to become a star may have been essential for the solar system to evolve as it did, allowing Earth and the other planets to form in stable configurations. Jupiter also plays a protective and disruptive role even in its current form. Its immense gravity influences the asteroid belt, captures or redirects comets, and occasionally sends objects inward toward the inner planets. This dual role, both shielding and perturbing, makes it a key player in the long-term dynamics of the solar system. The label failed star persists because it offers a simple narrative, a giant that almost became something greater. But this framing can be misleading. It suggests that Jupiter falls short of a higher category, when in reality, it fully embodies the characteristics of a gas giant. It is not an incomplete star. It is a complete and complex world that exists within its own category. In a broader sense, Jupiter reminds us that the universe does not operate according to human labels or expectations. The boundaries between planets, brown dwarfs, and stars are defined by physical thresholds, not by intention or destiny. Jupiter did not fail to ignite. It simply formed under conditions that placed it firmly within the planetary domain. And so, as it continues its silent orbit around the Sun, Jupiter stands not as a star that never was, but as a testament to the diversity of cosmic outcomes. It is a world of immense scale and dynamic complexity, shaped by the same forces that create stars, yet distinct in its own right. A giant that does not shine with fusion, but whose presence reshapes everything around it. In the end, calling Jupiter a failed star reveals more about how we think than about what Jupiter truly is. It is not a story of failure, but of difference, a reminder that even in a universe governed by precise laws, there is room for extraordinary variety. And within that variety, Jupiter remains one of the most magnificent examples, not a star that failed to ignite, but a planet that never needed to.